It is possible that Hispanics who live in the United States do not feel they fit within their Hispanic culture due to the subordinating rivalry among Hispanics and English speakers. Far from the truth, the importance of Hispanics in the United States is of immense value. This video has been created to make them aware of this cultural battle. Many of them are unfamiliar that they've been immersed in this cultural battle for over generations. Historically, Hispanic Americans who reside in U.S. territories that were formerly Mexico are not immigrants. The immigrants were white Anglo-Saxon Protestants and other European descendants whose ancestors appropriated these lands that did not belong to them. The Hispanic culture is recuperating this land by those who live and have children there. They play a fundamental role in defense of Hispanic heritage. Oftentimes, Hispanics carry an inferiority complex that shames them to the point of hiding their Spanish and not teaching it to their children in favor of English. The massive arrival of Hispanic immigrants is changing this because they cannot acculturate so many immigrants. Neighborhoods are being established where only Spanish is spoken, which is a very positive thing. The Spanish language is gaining ground thanks to them. These Hispanic immigrants should be very proud and more aware of their important role as pioneers for our Hispanic heritage. Without a doubt, the cultural supremacy of the United States is the most immediate rival power against Hispanic heritage, and it appears that with so many infiltrated Hispanics over there, the United States is in a complicated situation if they were to ever militaristically intervene in any Spanish-speaking country, especially Mexico, whose Hispanic vote is made up of millions of citizens and no government entity would dare bomb those families. Can you imagine the rage of millions of Mexican and Chicano Americans residing in the United States if the latter country were to attack and kill their families? The internal erosion would be brutal and immediate. Hispanic unity is stronger having them live there in the United States to pressure that country from harming the Hispanic world and to expand Hispanic culture throughout the whole country. Many of them are not aware that this important role has enormous potential. United, they make up an entire Hispanic army within the borders of one of our greatest rivals. Some United States citizens are aware of this Hispanic and Catholic expansive potential in the United States. They fear these expansions as a clear threat and as a possible explanation as to why they seek to eliminate Spanish history in the United States, tearing down statues of those like Oñate, the Mexican explorer born in New Spain who should be defended by Hispanics and especially by Mexicans. They should defend themselves from the Anglo-Saxon iconoclasts who want to annihilate everything Hispanic related and make Hispanic immigrants conform culturally. So much so that they have behaved mercilessly with Miguel Cervantes, a symbol of the Spanish language. They have even demonized Saint Junipero Serra, who introduced Christianity to those lands, a religion that many of you practice now, which has shaped society's ethical base. If you surrender to this, you will not be considered more than an overcorrected inferior class for English-speaking people. But on the contrary, if you go forward with your head held high, vindicating that the Southwest territories were not settled by English speakers, but by Hispanics, realizing you're not immigrants, but natives, then you will stop being servants and rise to authority. Here's a lesson from an honorable Cuban from Miami. After activists attacked this statue of Ponce de Leon, he went over to clean it, something that every good Hispanic who defends your legacy should do. It is your culture that they are trying to cancel. They should be taking down statues of those who are actually guilty of genocide, from the 7th Cavalry Regiment, who annihilated indigenous people. English-speaking Americans are very aware of your strength, maybe more than you know. There are places where English is being pushed as an exclusive language in order to impede the Spanish language from advancing. In addition, social pressures have been exerted within public settings like in schools and public transportation. It is your duty to stand your ground and explain that half of the U.S. spoke Spanish generations before it spoke English. English was a secondary language. Impose yourself against this imposition. Don't give up another inch or you'll be swallowed up along with your culture. Your future generations will lose their culture and even be embarrassed of their Hispanic origins. Don't allow this or you'll always be considered a second-class citizen. Fight united side by side in collaboration with other Hispanics who are nearby. It does not matter if someone is Cuban, Guatemalan, or Mexican. You are all Hispanics and you all share a history and a future. You will have to come together in order to defend your Spanish language, heritage, and children. Outsiders attack you because you are Hispanic. If you continue dividing and discriminating amongst each other, you will be digging your own graves. And if there are any young Hispanics out there listening to this who feel attacked for using Spanish within their schools or institutions, don't panic into submission. Go seek encouragement in other Hispanics. I send my best wishes to all Hispanics who are watching from the United States. And I hope you continue to learn about your immeasurable Hispanic potential through unity. The only thing holding you back is not pondering this immense power. Can you imagine a Hispanic political party that could rival others? Or Hispanic political groups that can lobby and influence policies in favor of your Hispanic heritage, where your vote can truly be yours instead of being appropriated by a political puppet? Making your immense power matter unleashes your numerical strength and places you at the forefront in the defense of your Hispanic culture, la Hispanidad.